Hi Virgo, this is your reading for May 2025. So as I was thinking of May 2025 for Virgo, I felt like there's going to be a lot of people working on health, stamina in the gym, working on feeling better in their body. Because what's going to happen in May, this is what I'm getting, is that a lot of us Virgos, just so you know, I'm a Virgo too, I feel like what's going to happen for us Virgos is a need to get out of our heads, because we're going to be very much in our heads about certain situations and things, and it's important to get back into your body and listen to your health, because it's not worth it, all right? Whatever you're obsessing about or ruminating about or thinking about in May, it's better to go for a walk. Get out in nature, hiking, do things that get you back into your body, back into breathing, back into feeling more in alignment with yourself. Because remember, a lot of times the thoughts that we have are not our own. The thoughts that we have or that we interpret are often energy forms from other people. Okay? Because when people think of thoughts or have thoughts, your thought is not you. Your thought is a observation. It's an observation. So it's almost like passing clouds. I've said this before many years ago in my other videos. Think of thoughts as passing clouds. And they also tell you that in the Headspace app. I did the Headspace many years ago too. When you think of thoughts as passing clouds, you start to see them as things. And you don't take them on as something you're actually thinking. Okay? So it really helps to distance yourself from your thoughts, especially this month. There's a lot of change, a lot of things happening in May. I feel like a lot of comings and goings. So some of you might be planning certain events. Some of you might be planning certain gatherings. Some of you might also be planning a trip. There's some of you that are also planning aspects of your business. So there's some managerial aspects going on for some of you that work in business. And in that case, if you're dealing with business matters, there's a lot of delegating of responsibility that needs to go on so that you're not tackling a lot of the projects yourself. Because a lot of what's going on in May is you're starting to realize that you might be handling too much and you need a break. So in order to do that, you might need to go on Fiverr and hire somebody. You might need to find out if that person can help you do something else, right? So let's see. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread today. I've always loved using the Celtic cross spread because I feel like it goes into so many aspects that you can kind of see what's going on within the issue. Your first card was the Wheel of Fortune, my dear. So that was in the middle of your spread. The card on top of that is the Seven of Wands. So some of you might have had some travel or something having to do with your car. So in the recent past, before May, you had something to do with travel, movement. There was some type of movement going on, something having to do with transport. This also could have to do with all the movement you've been doing. All of the fruits of your labor are now going to start to appear in May. Okay, so all the work that you've been doing in April and March is going to pay off in May. So going back to this reading, Virgo, I feel like this month you are mostly business and no play. You are all about making the money. You are all about sowing so that you can reap the rewards. Some of you are already reaping the rewards. But others of you are going to be dealing with some inner conflicts this month, okay? I'm seeing with the Eight of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords reversed, to me, looks like a chrysalis, looks like a butterfly in a cocoon, all right? And I think that is something to remember because some of you are in some type of cocoon or chrysalis stage where you're preparing for something in the near future. So you're inside this chrysalis, getting the nurturing, getting the nutrients. Maybe you're working out a lot more. Maybe you're changing your diet. Maybe you're being careful with your diet for some reason. This is the chrysalis stage to help you prepare for a better ideal down the road. Now, what I'm seeing over the Wheel of Fortune is the Seven of Wands, which is telling me that you might have to fight for something this month. There's something that you have a deep, deep soul core belief in. So for some of you, this can be your belief systems in spirituality. This can be your belief systems in religion. This can be your belief systems around philosophies. This could be certain things that you hold very true and dear to you, and you're fighting for them this month. You're fighting for your stand about them this month. That's in the middle. The Three of Pentacles reversed in the near future position. Three of Pentacles reversed in the near future position is showing me challenges in teamwork, possibly some type of competition, especially if you deal with some type of commissions or some type of bonuses. So there might be some challenges in that aspect. Or it could also mean that you're feeling unappreciated for the work that you're putting in. And if that's the case, it's important to assess whether that's happening regularly. If that's happening regularly, then you need to reassess whether you're still excited about this situation or not, or whether you want to change situations. That's what the Three of Pentacles reversed is saying. Because next to it is your hopes and fears section. So since it's next to the hopes and fears, and the Two of Swords reversed is showing up as the hopes and fears, I believe that the Two of Swords reversed is your fears. I believe it's your fears of conflict. There's a fear of conflict there. There's a fear of not wanting to rock the boat. There's a fear of not wanting to release some of the pent-up anger or pent-up resentment that might have been going on with this situation. The Two of Swords reversed in the fears position is saying that if you allow it to, your fears can paralyze you, all right? So fears are rooted in the root chakra, and it's important to, like I said in the very beginning of this video, Virgos this month are going to have to work on the root chakra. They're going to have to work on really eliminating and getting rid of any types of fears surrounding the things that you need to not only speak up about, or the things that you need to change or put in motion for yourself. You have to get rid of the fears that are holding you back. Because this hopes and fears section could become a self-fulfilling prophecy this month if you allow it to overtake you. So the Ace of Pentacles reversed is telling me that some of you might get some sort of money from something, okay? You might get a little bit of money from something, some type of financial windfall. But the windfall might not be a lot. It might not be what you expected. That's what I'm hearing. So because it wasn't what you expected, you might feel discouraged. And this is telling me that you have to keep going. You have to stay focused. Because some of you, instead of staying focused, are going to be distracted, are going to feel distracted or want to distract yourselves. And instead of distracting yourself, get back into your lower chakras. Get back into doing meditation for the first, second, and third chakras. Okay, the first is the root, the second being the sacral, and the third being the solar plexus. Work on those three chakras. When you work on those three, you're also going to gain more insight and more creative wisdom, because there is some type of creative block or some type of creative, in some cases, it could be that you're very creative and too creative, and maybe you have too many ideas. So when you have too many ideas, you're not focusing on one that's going to really raise you up, that's really going to build what you're trying to build. So you really want to try to focus on one or two things. Pick out one or two things and really hone in on them, because you might have your talents or your skills too scattered, all right? Especially in the month of May. Now, just so you guys know, we had recently in March 30th, as far as I know, this is the only alignment I really know about at this point. I'm not too big on astrology because I don't understand it fully. I'm not a mathematician, but I do know that there was a big transit that happened March 30th. March 30th, there was the Aries in Neptune transit. And wherever Aries falls in your chart, okay, in your birth chart, that's the house that a lot of this is going to affect. So for me, my Aries actually falls in my family house. So in my family house, I'm dealing with a lot of these things that seem like they're probably career oriented, but they're not. They're more family oriented. So for each of you, it's going to be different. You really have to look at your natal placements, and you can do that by looking up your astrology chart with your birth time. I'm going to include a link in the description box for a site that I personally love for looking up your birth chart, and you can do that for yourself. So there's a lot of possibility for analysis paralysis type of things going on this month. And it's important that you stay focused on your goals. You stay focused on your why, okay? Because if you have your why, you will really be driven and motivated to do what it is that you do. In the family position, I notice a lot of reminiscing about memories and things in family. So for some of you, that might be playing a big role in why you might not be moving forward in the way that you need to, okay? Maybe there's something having to do with family. There's also a possibility of someone coming back. So someone in your family might reach out, someone might come back that you haven't heard from in a while. There's a very happy, peaceful suggestion about this card. You can see that it's very happy, joyful, very vibrant. It's got a lot of happy, joyful, fun energy. So this person reaching out is actually going to be very good for you. And some of you might not want this person to reach out or might not want that to happen, but it's saying that it's going to be a good thing. So the other thing with this reading is managing expectations, okay? Because the Ace of Pentacles is showing me that your expectations might be a little more than what happens, which is okay, because sometimes when we're pursuing something, we want to act as if, we want to do things on a very positive note and with positive energy, and you want to put that energy out there, right? And maybe this month you get back some of it, but not to the extent that you want, right? So if that's the case for you, it's important that you realize that you've filled up your plate, especially with the 10 of Wands here being in your U position. Now, this is for cosmic consciousness. This is for a lot of people that are showing up as Virgo. If this isn't the case for you, move on from this reading. But if this is the case for you, and you're being burdened by a lot of things that you're taking on your shoulders, okay? So some of you are taking on a lot of responsibility, a lot of things that you could delegate to other people, okay? I said in the beginning of this reading, if you're a manager of some kind, managers have to delegate responsibility to others or delegate priorities so that things get done to the optimal level, right? The other side of that coin would be if you're not a manager of some kind, Maybe you're delegating responsibility at home. Maybe you're telling your family members or, your partner, help me. This is the time to say, help me. You don't have to do this alone, right? Because if you're doing it alone, that's not fair. That's only going to overburden you, and you're not going to be the best that you can be for them, right? So it might be a need to reach out for help at this point. It might be a need to say, have a little talk with somebody and say, you know what? I need your help. I need you to do this and get this done by this time, and we're good. And I think that your partner or whoever that you live with will be very accommodating to that, because if they really care about you, if they really love you, they're going to see that you're taking on too much. I don't see a lot of fun in this reading, unfortunately. In the month of May, I feel like it's a lot of work and no play. I feel like Virgo is doing that to themselves. I feel like Virgo is like overworking themselves. And I feel like that's like the story of my life. Like for me, it's like the story of my life, because I have always done that, like whether it was at home, whether it was in my job situations, like I would always take on way too much or try to take on way too much. And I've learned over the years that I was doing it from a stance of trying to please everybody. And you can't please everybody. That's the people pleaser syndrome. So you really have to set your boundaries this month, Virgo. And you have to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. You're being more careful with your diet. You're doing things that are good for you. Because in June, the sun comes out, right? We got a lot of sun in May, of course, because we got the flowers. But in June, that's beach weather. That's when we start going to the beach. That's when we start going on cruises, going on trips. Some of you are going on trips. There's a couple of you that are going on weekend getaways, okay? Some of that is coming around the corner. And you want to be prepared for it in a way that you feel good enough to go, in a way that you can be your best self and show up for all the people that need you and want you, right? So, So I apologize to all the Virgos, because this was very much an advice reading. I haven't done like a full advice reading in a really, really long time. But I feel like this entire reading was based around advice for specific challenges that might appear. And I feel like if you recognize that there's a way out in every situation that you come across this month, there's going to be ways to get out of it. There's going to be ways to fix it. There's going to be ways to solve it, okay? And this Eight of Swords reversed, to me, is a huge gift, okay? Because some of you, there might be one or two of you that are actually dealing with a court case. And if that's the case, okay, the court case is going to be pushed to the side. It's either going to be postponed, it's either going to be written off somehow. There's going to be some type of thing with this court case where it doesn't pan out the way that you thought. And it actually turns up in your favor because there's some type of mercy or forgiveness, okay? So whatever this means for you, there's going to be some type of mercy or forgiveness, all right? So I don't know what that means for whoever out there. I know this is only going to apply to like one or two of you, but I want to put that out there. For some of you, there's a lot of guilt. And guilt is a burden that you don't have to bear. You really, that's something that also sticks in the root chakra. And you can actually get rid of that by doing the work. Something called the work. It's on Byron Katie's site. I will include the link to that in the description box. But if you want to question your guilt or whatever you're going through, and maybe you don't have someone to talk to about it, doing the work on the Byron Katie website has helped me through the years a lot, in a lot of ways, for many different situations that I've been in. The work teaches you to question your thoughts and to really go into them and reverse them and ask them in different ways so that you're able to see the many possible ways that your mind can interpret them. And you also see how the many possible ways where those thoughts could actually be either projections or could be just things that you were dealing with that you didn't have to deal with. Because it makes you see totally different perspectives of those situations, which is really cool, because a lot of times we don't see those perspectives when we first think of something. So in order to see those other perspectives, you have to try the work. So I will include that in the description box as well. And I will also include a root chakra meditation. For those of you that are interested in listening to sound healing, I will include a root chakra meditation so that you can actually do some healing work with some headphones. Okay? This was not an easy reading, I'm not going to lie. I feel like there was a lot of complexity to it, and I feel like there was a lot going on because so many of you are going through different things that kind of point to similar situations. And I just hope that if you are facing any type of setbacks or obstacles over the course of the month, that you recognize the opportunities that present themselves at the same time, okay? So ask yourself, what is the opportunity in this situation right now? What is the opportunity within this challenge, okay? Because there's always going to be some type of opportunity. And a lot of it is going to be growth. A lot of it is going to be a strengthening for you. A lot of it is going to be a catalyst for what you come forward with in June, is what I'm hearing, okay? So some of the stuff that you're bringing forward in June is going to come from the work that you do this month. For some of you, that's going to mean another job. That's going to mean putting your resume out there in June and going for certain things that you didn't think of before, or maybe certain companies that you didn't expect before. For others of you, it's going to be a catalyst for truth that needs to come out for certain people in your life. It's going to be a catalyst for change, a lot of change. But at the heart of it, at the heart of your reading, the Seven of Wands covering the Wheel of Fortune. So your Wheel of Fortune is right there. Spin the wheel and you get anything you ever wanted. So it's really right there for you. It's just a matter of you pushing forward and being diligent and prioritizing what you need to do and staying focused, not getting distracted. Some of you might be distracted by certain love situations that might show up in the month of May, or certain situations where there is an opportunity for love or some type of relationship situation. And this is saying to stay focused because the opportunity is there, but you might miss it. So there's a possibility of a missed opportunity here if you don't take it, if you don't take the reins and move forward. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. That's your reading for the month of May 2025. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I adore each and every one of you for being my subscribers and for supporting me in all the ways that you do. If you feel like you want to, feel free to comment below with your situation. And I look forward to reading you in June.